In 2003, researchers discovered something impossible on the island of Flores in Indonesia. A human, but not like us. Homo floresiensis stood 3 feet tall. Its brain measured 380 cubic centimeters. Ours average 1,400. Its ancestor, Homo erectus, had 980. Somewhere in 10,000 generations, this species lost more than half its brain volume. This is Foster's rule. When populations become isolated with limited resources, they shrink. Not just bodies, brains. And the brain shrinks faster than body scaling would predict. Dwarf hippos in Madagascar showed the same pattern. 30% more brain reduction than expected. The brain is expensive. It consumes 20% of your calories. When resources are scarce, evolution economizes. Here's what's interesting. Homo floresiensis still used fire, still made tools, still hunted animals twice their size. The brain doesn't just shrink, it reorganizes. It becomes efficient at tasks that matter for survival in that specific environment. Now imagine a generation ship. Limited resources, closed population, no genetic exchange. The same pressures that shaped the Flores hobbit, compressed into a metal cylinder between the stars. What does the human brain optimize for after 10,000 years? After 400 generations of the same corridors, the same systems, the same problems. It optimizes for the ship, not for colonization. While evolution works across generations, something else happens in real time. Astronauts on the ISS lose 1 to 1.5% of bone density every month. 6 months in orbit equals 10% bone loss, the equivalent of 20 years of aging on Earth. The skeleton isn't fixed. It constantly rebuilds based on the loads it experiences. Remove gravity, and the body decides it doesn't need dense bones. NASA's TBone study tracked astronauts for a year after returning from 6-month missions. More than half never fully recovered. 9 of 17 showed permanent deficits 12 months after landing. Longer missions produced worse outcomes. Here's what breaks the generation ship concept. These astronauts were only gone 6 months. They returned to Earth gravity. They had rehabilitation, medical intervention, full nutrition. Generation ship colonists won't have any of that. They'll spend entire lives at reduced gravity, maybe 0.7 g from rotation. Their bones adapt to that load. When they land on a planet with full gravity, their spines will be optimized for a world that no longer exists. Vertebral compression begins within hours. The first fractures follow, not from falling, from standing. There's a third mechanism, the most insidious. Your immune system isn't something you're born with. It's built through exposure, infection, constant contact with the microbial world. Children raised in sterile environments develop higher rates of allergies and autoimmune disorders. The hygiene hypothesis. The immune system needs enemies to learn how to function. Mice raised germ-free show dramatically compromised immunity. Their bodies never learned what to fight. On a generation ship, there are no pathogens. The environment is sealed, filtered, controlled. Dangerous microbes eliminated. Perfect sterile safety. For generations. Their immune systems never train, never develop, never learn to distinguish harmless from lethal. Then they land. The soil contains bacteria, not necessarily dangerous, just bacteria their bodies have never encountered. Bacteria that Earth-evolved immune systems handle without noticing. The colonists' immune systems don't recognize the threat. By the time inflammation activates, infection has spread. Sepsis, organ failure. From organisms that wouldn't give you a rash on Earth. Arrival day, hour 1. The colonists step onto solid ground. Bones optimized for 0.7 g meet full planetary gravity. Vertebrae compress. Microfractures form in hips and spines. Hour 6. The first colonists collapse. Not exhaustion, structural failure. Their skeletons cannot support their own weight. Hour 12. Minor cuts become infected. Immune systems that never learn to fight don't recognize the invasion. Fever spreads. Hour 24. Medical systems overwhelmed. Casualties mount. And the survivors, those whose bones held and immune systems got lucky, they stand at the airlock and look out at the world they crossed 10,000 years to reach. They can't make themselves step outside. 400 generations in corridors, ceilings and walls and enclosed spaces. Minds that never processed open horizon, never experienced sky that doesn't curve back into floor. The agoraphobia isn't weakness, it's adaptation. Psychology optimized for the ship, not for planets. They will live out their lives in the vessel that brought them here, looking at a world they cannot walk on.